Well, the most impressive storm I've ever been in was in Hungary. I was there teaching on a youth camp run by a church that my previous church had a connection with. And I was woken up in the early hours of the night to a huge thunderstorm. The rain, the thunder, the lightning were bigger than any I've ever experienced. And looking out of an open window, it was incredible to watch such power. But that still is relatively tame compared to the clips that we see on the news, of tornadoes and hurricanes that ravage parts of our world. And it is this type of storm that David compares God and his word to. That's a little surprising, I think, that God and his word be compared to a violent, destructive thunderstorm. But that's what we read. See, just for example, verse 4 and 5. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is majestic. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The Lord breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. Those strongest trees, God breaks them to pieces. Awesome power. It might not be a comparison that we'd make, but it is helpful for us. The fact is that God, the God we know and serve, is not a tame God. He's not a small, weak, puny God. He's not a God that we can put in our back pockets simply to bring him out when we need him. No, he is awesome in power, mighty in strength, fearsome in glory. Let's not minimize him. But what makes that such a good thing is that this power is used for the good of his people. I love the way this psalm ends. After this majestic description of God's greatness, to see how David concludes in verse 11. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. He uses his power for the good of his people. This mighty, awesome, glorious God is on our side. He is indeed fearsome, make no mistake about it. But he is good. We can trust him. And remember that today. And this psalm calls us and everything to give him the glory that he deserves. Let's do that today.